Ammon Hillman has said some very, very controversial things. He has a bit of a following. Some have even called that a cult following. And today we're going to talk about a response that he made to one of his students and a debate she was having with Neil Gnostic Informant. In our last video, we responded to the debate. We responded to how it seemed like, one, Neil asked her a very, very simple question, and she is supposed to be one of his best students, and oddly, she wasn't able to answer a very basic question about Greek. And then she mentioned, hey, this is what I think about this, and this, and this, and this. And Neil says, okay, well, show me the evidence. And Neil seemed to show her wrong. And then she said, okay, well, what about this other thing? But then Neil would say, oh, well, okay, this is why you're wrong about that. And then she would say, okay, what about this other thing? And Neil would show that he's wrong. So it seemed like she just kind of kept changing the subject. Really odd. It seemed like he was pretty convincingly showing that maybe she had missed something there on each of them, but it seemed kind of like she was almost just deflecting about each and every one, that she couldn't accept, hey, okay, I was wrong about this. That aside, the way that Ammon responded to this, because Ammon actually watched this conversation, which I was shocked about, because I had never seen Ammon watch any other debates or, let's say, critiques of him in any way at all. I didn't even think that he'd be interested in that. And if he does, it's a very shallow response. So, is he actually watching? Hard to tell. But in this, he makes a lot of interesting comments. So let's put it on the screen. Let's watch it. I was very shocked to see this. Very interesting response. All right, so they're having their conversation. He's showing one of the sources to her.
Does it matter if he's prepubescent?
Yes, it does. So,
thoughts?
Look at Ammon's in the chat screeching. You are amazingly bad. Deception. Ammon, come on, dude. Here, Ammon, let me give you a link.
He says, you should drop this immediately. So he's saying that she should leave. It's very interesting. Why? Why would he say that? What benefit would there be to her leaving the conversation other than for him to stop looking bad? Now, of course, Neil was being slightly aggressive, maybe even a little rude. But of course, like, you can still have a debate by doing that. So it's almost like he didn't trust his own student to continue that conversation. I'm not sure why. That's very interesting.
Jump on right now. Let's see you help Maddie out. I'll give you 2 verse 1. Here, link is in the chat. Boom. Come on, Ammon. You scared? Because you know you're lying. You know you're full of shit. You know you're lying to Maddie. But maybe you're not dishonest, Maddie. But you're being completely lied to by Ammon Hillman. Completely lied to. I have sources here. Come on, Ammon. Jump on in. Anyone else jumps in, they're getting banned. So don't jump in unless you're Ammon Hillman. Ammon Hillman, you got the link in the description, Ammon. Come on in.
88 dropped $5 super chat.
So that could have been really interesting. So instead of her having the conversation, showing the sources, which didn't really seem to be much of a conversation, Ammon could have just dropped in conversation, have the debate, show. I mean, clearly he had enough time in order to be commenting. We'll see. He had more than just one comment. So it'd be nice to see Ammon and Neil debate. We should have had this a long time ago. Just how many conversations they had originally, and then afterward, after Neil came out and said, no, I don't believe any of this. And like, why can't Ammon have a conversation? Prove everybody wrong. Neil has a big audience. That would actually help Ammon out, especially if he can show that he's right about all this. And if people already watched the video, Ammon did not come on the stream. Now, let's look at a few other comments, because Ammon made other comments on that video. This was a separate video that compiled it. Neil must not have seen all the comments or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, let's look at the good comments, what Ammon said, because what he says is just really Really interesting.
Show me one. Show me one where it says that a prepubescent child is used.
He says, I can't watch this abuse. So he's calling it abuse. So it seems like he's saying that Neil is abusing her. I would assume with words, I guess. And that might be, as I said, but he was a little rude in this. So I guess maybe you can consider that might be a bit hyperbolic. He says, I leave, Maddie. This is shameful. I'm going. Why is that shameful? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it seems like Ammon was just feeling very uncomfortable, and he was trying to do anything he could to get her to go.
To extract purple drugs for the mystery right. Show me one right now.
What you are seeing is abuse. I'd leave, Maddie. They're using you and abusing you. Using you. Using for what? Like views, I guess. I don't know, but it could have been a great opportunity. Like, instead of him saying, hey, you should leave, they're abusing you. I mean, even if they are, maybe she knew that. Maybe she knew it was worth it. Like, was he considering what she thought, her feelings, her reason to come on there? Didn't seem like it. And what would have been more helpful is, hey, he could have just given some sources. He is the PhD expert. Instead of commenting all this, he could have just said, hey, tell me, this is the source. Maddie's my student, my star pupil. Here's the source. Here's the evidence that you're looking for, Maddie. Maybe you just forgot. Here's the evidence, because you could read Greek, right? Because he's the star student. She'd be able to read Greek and be able to tell the source just like that. And prove him wrong, but there's no source.
One. Just one.
God, right?
You have no idea, Neil. You flunked, brah. Mighty, run.
One. Call Ammon right now. I'll give you as much time.
Maddie, time to go. He's getting almost a. I don't know. I think this is a bit much. What? Like, how many times is he going to say it before he realizes it's not doing anything?
You need call Ammon, find one primary source. You can't even mention one source. One. That's not good. That means you don't know. That means you're just being told bullshit.
And it seems like he just said the same comment again.
Can you name one? Can you name one?
Yeah. So that was crazy. And here's just a bit of a intro into the response they later. So it's not like he disowned her or something. They still were friends or whatever. So he had her on the channel later. So how did they respond?
They'll attack you, and we're prepping so that you can go back and humiliate.
We're prepping so that you can go back and humiliate.
As should be done, right? You should.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Well, why didn't he give the sources so that he could prep in the actual moment?
My channel's open.
So not only that, but he told her to leave the conversation. Why? Why would he say that? But then later he would say, hey, we're going to prep so you can go back to humiliate him. But why? Why would he do that? That doesn't make any sense. If he was abusing her, that's not a conversation you should go back to. If he was attacking her, it's not something you should go back to, right? Maybe it would be worth it. But if it would be worth it, then he shouldn't have been complaining about her being on there anyways. And by the way, there was no actual conversation again. She did not go back on. So yeah, that was rough. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. That was a bit of a doozy, but make sure you check out my other videos if you're interested on more of this topic. See you guys.